Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Eric here with the TRD Squad, bringing my version of a budget Synchron deck. I'm a huge fan of 5DS, so of course I play this deck. And I've been wanting to. I've had the cards for a while. Just never actually played with the deck because I found it too complicated to play. Now that I've had some free time, I'm playing with the deck, and honestly, it's a very fun deck to play with. If you're a huge fan of the anime, you know exactly what this deck can do. And it's just spam a bunch of synchro monsters, and also like pretty big monsters at that too. But anyways, yeah. So I built a little budget version here. We don't play Burn to Floor because honestly, I don't feel like paying $100 for a card. So we've made some minor tweaks to it. Now this build was heavily influenced by, I believe it's 037 Wolf. He's on Yu-Gi-Oh, and I hope I said the name right. Don't know the guy's name. I just know the YouTube channel. I'm a huge fan of his channel as well. But we made some minor tweaks to it. Like I said, we don't play Burn to Floor. Now in his version, you play like Burn to Floor, and then you can make like a Yazi of the Yang Zing. And you use Baron to pop Yazi and to get into Mariner to get into your combos. So we had to tweak it up a little bit because we don't play Yazi, we don't play Baron, of course. But yeah, other than that, though, this deck is still really good. Can easily put up like 3 negates, and that's even when it's being interrupted. And if the combo goes uninterrupted, you can easily put up like 4 to 5 negates, or sometimes we do play Satellite Warrior as well. Sometimes you can end up like with like 4 negates and then like pop like 4 or 5 cards on your opponent's turn as well. So yeah, this deck's still fun to play with. Yeah, but anyways, guys, without further ado, let's get into this deck profile. So to start things off, for our tuners, we're running 3 stars of Synchron. This is kind of like a must here for your tuners. And this card just got a reprint, or it's going to get a reprint here tomorrow, or it's going to be released tomorrow, right? But in the Megatins, right? So it made it a whole lot cheaper as well. Also playing the 3 drunk Synchron. It's kind of like a must as well for this deck. The 1 Jet Synchron, of course. Then we're playing like the Dawn Walker package, so the 3 Ascators and then the 1 Fire Ant. And I'm hoping Chaos Ruler doesn't get banned because yeah, it helps out a lot when you use this card to go into Chaos Ruler and you get some more extenders that way. But yeah, maybe the card might get banned. Who knows? People are asking for it to get banned. For our non-tuners, we're playing the 3 Junk Converters. This is a must as well. This card's just a really good starter. You can pitch it to the graveyard and then search for a tuner. Playing the 3 Doppel Warrior, of course, because it produces tokens, helps get into your combos a lot easier. And then for like our smaller non-tuner cards, we're playing the 2 Caligo, Claw Crow, the 2 Gesture Confit, 2 Boost Warrior. Now, like I said, most of the builds online right now are only playing like 1 copy of each, or sometimes they play like 3 of this one, 3 of this one. I'm playing it a little bit differently because we don't play some of the cards that they play. Like we don't have access to Baron and to Yazi and to Mermere. So yeah, 2, 2, and 2 works out really fine because you don't see them too much, but you see, I mean, if you see like 1 of each, plus like any of your synchros, that's a pretty good combo there. But yeah, other than that, that works out pretty fine though, playing this ratio. Then of course we're playing the 1 Stardust Trail here. And then for like our cross-out targets, Ash Blossom and Fake Veilor, and I also play Imperm, but I forgot to sleeve it up for this video. But yeah, playing Ash Blossom and Fake Veilor and Imperm. And that's just to kind of help out to placate your combos. We don't play a lot of hand traps because we can't really cut too many of our cards because they're all kind of necessary for the combos or for the deck to play out with. So rather than that, playing a bunch of hand traps, I just play the cross-out designator with cross-out targets as well. And then, of course, the 3 Saravis here. This card just provides you against protection against like Infect, Veilor, and Imperm, and helps you resolve Speeder a lot easier. And that's it for the monster lineup. For our spells, we're playing the 3 copies of Synchro Overtake. This card also just got a reprint, so it's super cheap now. And I'm playing 2 Tuning. Usually you play 3, but the reason I could have done the 2 is because I'm playing 45 cards right now, and I feel like playing 46. And I couldn't really figure out what to cut, so I just cut out the Tuning. But if you want to play 3 Tunings, you can easily just cut out like a Boost Warrior. Then the 1 Stardust Illumination. We play this version of the deck rather than playing like the the Majestic package. I feel like the Majestic package just bricks too much, so I wanted to play more of a consistent version. I do believe like this with the Stardust Trail and the Stardust Synchron is probably the more consistent version. Playing 3 Living Fossils could be 2. We do play the Power Tool Dragon. 1 Reinforcement of the Army, 1 Monster Reborn, and the Magical Midbreaker field because it just protects you during your main phase 1 and 2, and then that's it for these spells. Like I said, of course, we are playing the Crossout Designator and the 1 Call by the Grave. Now, usually what I do play, but I didn't sleeve up the Imperm, is I just play I play 2 Crossout Designators and then the Imperm, so you can easily swap out this 3rd copy for Imperm. And when I was making this video, it's like, or when I started working on the deck to make the video, Crossout Designator was actually pretty cheap, and I hope that the price, tends to come down after the release of the Mega Tints. But yeah, when we just found out they were short printed, the price kind of spiked. But other than that, though, the rest of the deck is honestly pretty cheap. So getting the 2 Crossout Edges or the 3 copies of it is not that bad when it comes to like the price of this deck. But that's it for the main deck. For our extra deck, we're playing the Yeah, just nothing but synchros here. So like the one Celestial Double Shaman is just a really good card. The one Martial Metal Marcher, the one Cupid Pitch, the one Herald of the Arclight, Excel Synchron, and this card is actually really important in this deck because it's what helps us get into like the Satellite Warrior on our opponent's turn. So yeah, really good card, just kind of like our MVP there. You want TG up Librarian just so you can get all those draws when you every time you Synchro summon. One Junk Warrior, of course, one Junk Speeder. And I'm playing an FA Dawn Dragster. Like I said, my build's slightly different. We cut out the we cut out Yazi, or sorry, yeah, we cut out Yazi, and we cut out the Baron de Floor, so we're playing FA Dawn Dragster and Power Tool Dragon instead. One Sacred Lord Omega, just rip a card out of your opponent's hand. The one Chaos Ruler, really good card. If it gets hit, it's gonna kind of suck. But with the way I build this deck, this card is not necessarily necessary for it to resolve. Usually just like bait for Ash or something like that. The one Crystal Ring Synchro Dragon, the one Hot Red, and of course the one Satellite Warrior, and then some tokens here for my Doppel Warrior tokens. You know these are the Dino tokens though. But that's it, guys, for the main deck. I'm gonna go ahead and get a video ready. I'm gonna showcase you guys a combo that I did online. I was playing against somebody, and I found that just easier than trying to do like a whole test hand though. Alright, so we're here at the combo part of the video, guys. We're gonna do it slightly different today. Rather than giving you guys like a test hand, just to kind of save time to dish this video out faster, I have like a video here that I recorded on my phone when I was playing online at work. I thought this video was really cool because it kind of showcases you guys what this deck can do, and I have a pretty good hand here. I am going second here. My opponent has set 2 and passed turn to me. I've opened up with the Escator, the Junk, the Caligo Imperm, another Junk. And then for my 6th card on my turn, I drew into the Jester Comfort. This we're going to kick off the video here, guys, and just showcase you guys what this budget deck can do. Even without Baron de Floor, we're going to put up a pretty good board. And there are some minor misplays, but I will be discussing those misplays and telling you what you could have done differently. So first things first, we're going to summon out the Dawnwalker by pitching Junk Synchron since we got 2 in hand. We're going to go into our Chaos Ruler here. Now since we do have access to Crow and Junk in the hand, we already have access to Speeder. So we're just trying to like fish out some hand traps from our opponents. So that's why I go into Chaos Ruler first. Then we make our Chaos Ruler activate its effect to reveal the top 5, add 1 Dark or Light monster to our hand, and then send the rest of the graveyard. Now here's my first misplay. I could have actually allowed, I could have just let Crow go to the graveyard. Normal summon Junk, Junk effect summon out Crow. And then I could have played around like an Imperm that way. Because I still had another Crow in hand to special summon itself out. So that was like, another way we can play around some hand traps there, but I kind of misplayed, but regardless, though, the combo still goes through. Now we summon out Speeder. Speeder effect is going to bring out the Stardust, Jet, and Junk from deck to field. And so like in this particular case, we already have access to Hot Red, or we have access to Clear Ring Synchro Dragon. If you're worried about hand traps, you make like Clear Ring first, like you want to play like around the Biru. Now, when you're playing on Dueling Nexus, you kind of know when your opponent has something, because you get that little pop-up message saying like wait for your opponent or waiting on your opponent. In this particular case, I knew my opponent didn't have anything at all. So I'm just kind of like playing at this point, knowing that there's no hand traps at least. Now there are 2 background I'm kind of worried about, so that's why I make Hot Red first. We're gonna go into like yes, we're gonna use our Chaos Roller and our Jet Synchron to make Hot Red, just to have something against those 2 set cards there. And we're not gonna activate Jet Synchron's effect here because we want to use the other graveyard effect instead. We're gonna go special on Jester Comfort. Now we're gonna activate the Jet Synchron in graveyard, allowing us to to discard Crow to special summon itself out. Now we don't have access to Librarian just yet, but we do have access to Shaman, which can just get us into Librarian. And so one of the things I kind of learned playing this deck is that you don't always want to go into Librarian first, especially if it means like sacrificing valuable resources to continue with your combo. And that's one of the biggest mistakes I made at first, was making Librarian too early in the combo. Sometimes you can make it later and still draw like at least 3 cards, but you don't want to make it too quick as to where you're giving up a lot of resources here. But yeah, we're going to make the Clear Wing here first. And now we have access to Shaman, so we're going to use the Jet Synchron, the Gesture Confidence to make Shaman. Shaman effect will summon out both Crows from the graveyard, which now gives us like plenty of resources to continue to combo forth, or to get the combo to go forward. So now we have access to Librarians, so we're going to use the Junk and the Caligo to make a Librarian here. And now we're using the Shaman and the other Crow, we can now make our Cupid Pitch, and allow us to draw 1 card as well. So Cupid Pitch, we're going to go ahead and decrease the level by 2. Although there are times whenever I do increase it by 2, just depending on whatever I have. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and decrease it by 2 instead. And now we're going to summon out our Chaos Ruler from the graveyard by banishing 1 light and 1 dark monster. So we're going to banish the Junk, and then banish 1 Stardust, since we do have another Stardust in hand. Now we're gonna use the Stardust in hand to tribute off the Chaos Ruler, especially when itself out. Chaos Ruler will get banished here because we use his effect from the graveyard. Now we can also bring out Trell from graveyard since we just summoned out Stardust from hand. Alright, so we'll pause the video right here, so let's rewind it just a bit. Okay, so from here we have a variety of ways we can go to. Now since we do have a 1 level 4 tuner, 1 level 4 monster, we can go into Synchron Lord Omega, and then using the Cupid Pitch and the Librarian, we can also make an FA Don Dragster there. And don't forget to draw that card right if you do decide to go like Synchron Lord Omega. You get to draw 1 card, and you can make your FA Don Dragster at the end. And that would be 4 interruptions plus like Imperm that your opponent would have to like play through later on. But I mean, honestly, it's also like OTK there because if you use Cupid Pitch with your Librarian, that's an FA Don Dragster. And then you got Hot Red on field, which will allow you to like at least negate 2 spell and trap cards, unless of course your opponent has like Forbidden Chalice or something like that. But it would allow us to play through the set cards a lot easier. And then aside from Lord Omega, you can use it in the battle phase. I mean, you can attack with it, and then like main phase 2 uses effect to rip a card out of hand. And you would still have an FA Dawn Dragster, a Hot Red, and a Clear Wing that your opponent have to play through, plus the Emperor, and that's 4 interruptions. And then they have 1 less card in hand. But regardless, so we have like enough for game here. Now at this point, I kind of know my opponent has no hand traps or anything because I haven't seen the message on Dueling Nexus. So I decided to go like a different route. But I should have made the Synchron Lord Omega first and then drawn a card. But instead I go immediately into Satellite Warrior because I want to just flex on my opponent here. Just gonna make Satellite Warrior using the Cupid Pitch and also using the Clear Wing. And I was just kind of just checking my graveyard to make sure I have some Synchros in there, which we do. We got a couple. Yeah, Cupid Pitch, Clear Wing here. So like minor misplay. I could have actually drawn some cards first, but well, regardless, it would have actually worked out the same anyways. We're gonna go ahead and pop the 2 back row, and then of course at this point our opponent just kind of scoops, knowing that he can't do anything else. But regardless, we still had access to the Clear Wing, and also we could have set the Imperm if we couldn't OTK our opponent, but of course at this point we can OTK. Satellite Warrior will gain 2,000 attack because it popped 2 cards. And yeah, easily OTK, guys. And yeah, like I said, I just want to showcase you guys this video. I'm sorry for the quality, how small it is. I do plan on doing another video though for the Synchron deck. I'm gonna be doing like several videos actually. The next video that I do have in plan is to showcase you guys what you can do with a Doppel Warrior and a Junk Synchron. And yeah, man, comment down below if you want to see that video or hit the like button on this video as well. But it's a really crazy video because even with just 2 cards, playing the budget version, we still make about 4 to 5 negates, or you can, set up your board for Satellite Warrior on your opponent's turn and get to pop like 5 to 6 cards. But yeah, if you want to see that video, comment down below. But anyways, overall, thank you guys for watching today. Thank you guys for tuning into the channel and taking some time out of your day to watch this video. If you like what you saw today, make sure you smash that like button down below. And also, guys, if you haven't, please subscribe to my channel. It's a super easy way, guys, for you to support me as a content creator and to support the channel as a whole. And also, I guarantee it that if you subscribe today, guys, you will always draw the out. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.